Top of the morning to everybody. It's your oh so glorious and beloved Mace Fowler. Ah, that right. A little better. I got the boys their lunch. Now I'm headed to coffee. Coffee. Autumn is upon us. Looking forward. So I'm gonna be today. There's a few creative things I got to work on. Uh, one of which is bringing um, oh, I got a lot. Hey, what's up, dude? I got a lot of stuff to work on, but when I get home, I'm gonna kind of list it out. And one of the things I really want to do is get you guys those Twitch videos, the Twitch live streams that are archived. I gotta download them for archive. So I gotta download them. I gotta cut out the intro of it, and then load it up for you guys. And I think I'll spread it out over the next few days. But there's going to be a lot of long form fat. There's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be nice long videos. So, but yeah, I'm going to download several of them. I might not be able to do. I'll get them up tonight. I'll get at least one up tonight. But I actually that's not the optimal time. I got to time everything um, when my audience is active. Ah, yeah, I noticed that this morning. I posted a picture. If it's uh, I gotta find my hard drive because I need to unload a bunch of stuff from that laptop. Even though it's got an SSD and it runs all quick and stuff, it's like extremely disorganized. So also I need to format that other drive because when I plug it in, it acts as the same old drive, the old hard drive. It acts as the old one. And no, I got to format, which I got to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to format it. But I'll figure that out today too. So, but yeah, digital organization is definitely something like I'm that guy that like, oh, I need to save a bunch of files. Let me create a new folder, name it bullshit, and then I do that continuously. So it's so disorganized. So eventually, one of these days, I literally have to sit down and go through everything. Like I do it with physical documents, and over the years, as certain documents become irrelevant, I get rid of them. Anything that's tied to me in my life, things that kind of like future generations would want to look back on and have some sort of record on, yeah, I hold on to those things. But like stupid shit, like bank statements from banks that I was with 10 years ago, I don't need shit like that. So I do a little bit of sprinkling and stuff here. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you guys, see how you guys are doing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got to work on. So I'm gonna try to hopefully have some time today to. Dude, I am a busy dude. I am. Oh, the new MTG set. I'm really liking. I'm really liking better cure COVID. Like, yeah, right. I need to. Yeah, that new set is like bonkers, man. It's so good, and I'm like super in love with all the lands. I it's great. Um, Most of it that I've played has been like in draft limited format. So yeah, honestly, limited's an interesting format because you don't really get like a full feel for the set. I mean, yeah, some cards are designed for limited. Um, the Cora I really like. Um, Throne of Elderning or whatever it's called didn't do didn't that one I kind of passed on it. Same with Theros Beyond Death. Um, the last one I actually played with and messed around with. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, the last set that I actually played with was Rivals of Ixalan. Well, no, but that was Rivals of Ixalan was um, that was limited. I played the last constructed. I actually played standard constructed Shadows over Innistrad. So it was Shadows over Innistrad, Battle for Zendikar, Khans of Tarkir. Or did Khans cycle through it that? Yeah, no, that was yeah. So Khans had cycled through an Innistrad or Shadows. I don't. It don't matter, man. Anyway, I'm gonna make a janky tag. Oh, that's tight. Uh, yeah, Innistrad, merfolk, vampires, and dinosaurs. And then there's like pirates. Like, Raid was a good. I liked Raid was uh, kind of made attacking matter. You know what I mean? So people weren't sitting around, waiting. So it was good and limited because games would go by a little quicker because when you have when someone's doing like heavy on the raid mechanic, you're constantly attacking. You want to attack so you can play these cards in the second main bonuses. So it's okay. Like I love cards that help you become fearless. Cards that it's like, oh, it's okay if your card goes because you have something else. You have something in store. Um, as a player, it definitely it makes me less clear. You know. So the thing is, it's like with anything in life. The more you play, the more you understand. So the thing is, I've always been more so casual on Magic. I do it for fun. It's a hobby. But I do want to get better at the game. Um, so the thing about limited's really good for seeing the new cards in the set, playing with those cards, and getting a better understanding for like how they vibe and jive with one another, how these mechanics work. So getting that first-hand experience. Um, can I get a large mocha cookie crumble? And I'm good, thank you. Nope, that'll be it. End of way. I'm sorry. Uh, uh, man, yesterday was stressful, man. These, this damn school, this distance learning bullshit. I'm so sick of it. I'm like really over it. All better? Uh, I guess so. I gotta spend more time in it. Oh, definitely. I gotta work on mine too. It's just really, man. I'm telling you, man. These streams are killing me. Like I streamed last night, God, maybe 20, 30. Like just no one was coming in, you know. And it's like I've always been the guy where it's really hard to stream if there's nothing to talk about. Like like I draw blanks when I'm just talking to myself. So like I've looked at videos of people giving advice what to do when the streams happen. Want to, because like there's always that delay. So by the time you see someone come in, they're seeing you several seconds ago. So they see it being quiet and boring, and it's this like negative feedback. So you got to kind of always be on. You know? And it's like, I guess if I took it from the perspective of recording a recording a podcast, then I guess I would have a better guys with it. But it's still like it's really hard for me to record a podcast. It really is. And I've been trying to bring back the podcast, but I'm sticking with the streaming for now because the podcast I definitely can't. Oh, I'm not gonna blame the chat. What's up, Gig Stacka, Chief Babatunde, dude? Well, basically, that's called show notes. It's what I used to do when I worked in radio. When you have show notes, it makes things a lot more better. I mean, that's not that there's not shit to talk about. It's just hard to like carry the conversation with myself because I don't like myself a whole lot. You know, the sound of my own voice makes me cringe. Dude, what's up, Gig Stacka? How you been? How you doing? I did my first sponsored YouTube video about a month and a half ago, something like that. About a month and a half ago, yeah. That was for a gig economy company. And if I were still doing the gig economy work, that is definitely something I would hit up on. Essentially, workers' comp for gig workers. Good. How are you, dude? How am I? I'm good. This distance learning is BS. Buku. Icky. It's horrible. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. These teachers are using this as an extended vacation, I swear. You know? It's like, yeah, I can look at it from their perspective, and they're trying their hardest with what's available to them, and I don't really think they are. Um, yeah, I mean they're doing what they can, and the situation sucks for everyone. But the thing I don't like about the distance learning is that the teachers basically bring the kids on for attendance. They have their little morning announcement, whatever. They just throw them off in the modulars, right? They throw them off the modulars. They don't actually teach. When we went to school, we get to class, do attendance, do the Pledge of Allegiance, all that jazz. We sit down. The teacher's like, all right, these are the things we're gonna learn today. Now let me stand up here in front of you guys and teach you how to do these things. Here's the assignment. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's how you do the assignment. Let me teach you. Like it's hard to describe. Hey, oh sweet, thank you so much. All right, sweet. Have a good morning. So it's like, anyway, I could go on and on. I've been talking about distance learning. Like I've been talking about it on Instagram, Facebook. I've been talking about it everywhere. You know. And the thing is, other parents get it. That's another thing I've realized lately too, is that there are certain things that parents can understand because they have kids, and that people that don't have kids, it's like there's a huge line. Like if you're a parent, you'll understand certain things, right? About when it comes to children and raising kids. But if you're not a parent, there's there's a complete dissociation with anything in that realm. I'm actually going to go a long way. Please drive slow as fuck. Okay. Roll. Um, I don't think so much that like, oh, well, they're going to appreciate teachers now, because if anything, people are really frustrated. If any, all COVID has done is put a magnifying glass in the virus of the human condition. Like, our current state of things is broken. Okay, let's be perfectly honest, right? Our healthcare system broken. Our fucking you know, our economy fucking fragile as fuck. Okay, the real estate market fucking completely out of touch with itself. Even with the bubble that happened, I mean, there are so many different avenues of our way of living in the modern era that this whole COVID thing has showed us how sensitive and how like mismanaged everything is. And public education is one of those. When you take public education and you compare it to like the private sector, you know, uh, private schools and stuff. Obviously, private schools are so much better. It's not just a funding thing. The stock of people that you get in there, very different. Public schools, you get one, like, you get a certain subset of teachers and whatever, right? But in the private sector, you get people that are, people that are more qualified, you know, or people that I don't want to like disparage teachers, because yeah, teachers are cool, man. We need them. They're critical for advancement in life and everything. But education is never taken as seriously as it should. We look at education in the here and now, and we should be looking at education 10 plus years in the future, right? What are we doing today to better kids so that when 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, they are better equipped to live in our world? We don't look at education from that perspective. Education always needs to look towards the future. It does not need to be rooted in the present. That is why standardized testing, in the form of which it was, implemented when I was a kid, was broken as fuck. Right? We're not teaching kids. We're not encouraging kids to learn. It's repetition and memorization, and all that does is formulate compliance. That's it. Right? We teach people to be workers. We don't teach them to think outside the box and be leaders and to expand the horizon in the world. Now you could also chop that up to like some sort of social Darwinism, to where, well, the kids that are going to naturally excel at that, they're going to be able to break out of that mold on their own. But me, if we're paying for education through our tax dollars, I want that to be the best opportunity for our kids. The absolute best. Everyone deserves an equal state at a shot, an equal shot, right? It's all about equity. To give these kids a fair shot. Anyway, so yeah, I appreciate the teachers doing everything that they have, but I know that the fact is that they throw my kid off into these modulars, and he's got a 504 plan, which, because of the whole distance learning thing, they can't even adhere to anyway. So he's already got his learning disability, which is difficult to tell and to manage for him. So he's trying. He's really trying, but it is so hard because he's learning new stuff, like math, for example. New stuff in math he's learning, but the teacher's not sitting down and explaining to him or to the class, oh, we're gonna learn fucking decimals, all right, and everything about decimals. Okay, go ahead and figure it out. Like, they don't sit and teach them. They don't teach them anything about decimals. They throw them off in this module where they got to read this shit. But because it's brand new, it's essentially written in a language that they do not understand. So they're trying to decipher this to the best of their abilities, but they can't. So when they do turn the work in and there's mistakes or it's incorrect, the teachers mark them for it, and it's like, how are you going to mark someone for something that you were supposed to teach them but you never taught them? That's the part that's frustrating. It's like, it'd be one thing if they were actually teaching and the kids weren't grasping. It's the fact that they're not even teaching in the first place. They throw these kids off to these assembled modulars and like, all right, go ahead, have fun. Let me know if you need anything, and if you do, I'm not going to answer your question. You know. So it's kind of like they set up with Blackbook, Canvas, Google Classroom. So let's say my kid goes to class, right? And then when he's done with class, or the meeting, the teacher says, okay, go ahead and go do your assignments in your modulars. Um, they're like little, like online schooling. You go to click on your assignment, and then in there's like a piece of paper, a text document that kind of explains how to do whatever you're supposed to do, or there might be a video or something, and that's essentially what is teaching you how to do X, Y, Z. But it's not the same as a traditional classroom setting. So for kids that have been doing homeschool their entire lives, they're used to that. Hundreds of thousands of children are not used to how that is structured. So because of that, it really sets them up for failure because the teachers are going to grade everything per usual, but they're not going to take into account the fact that the whole system is now completely broken because they're being thrown up into these modulars where they're essentially learning this information on their own. So kind of like college, where the teacher assigns you something that they never taught in class, right? But you're already older, so you have some sort of, when you get older, you can better understand how to research things on your own. When you're younger, it's hard because everything's brand new, everything's fresh, right? It's kind of like me. If you threw me into a fucking high level physics course, I would have no idea where to begin with the mathematics because I don't even have a baseline for it. To me, it would be a complete foreign language, hieroglyphics, name it, you know? Tacked onto the indoctrination process. I agree. I mean, it's kind of a pessimistic way of looking at it, but when you really kind of break things down, that, even though that may not be how it was intentionally designed, that is overall outcome. Is that now the indoctrination part? Yeah, they're trying to indoctrinate kids. And when it comes to education and teachers, it's always been more liberal, and it's very easy when someone gets paid to state. Now the thing is, teachers historically are the first ones, time and time again, where they're like they're teachers go on strike very quickly. The teachers unions, when they want more, they're like, oh, we're not even gonna go to school. We're not even gonna teach because we have these demands that we want more of. And then what ends up happening is our property taxes go up to pay for these other things that teachers want, but then the quality of education never really goes up. So it's usually like it's usually tied to money, right? It's usually tied to money. It's kind of how it's always been. But gig stackers are still here. I got some good news. So I started working on my credit a year ago. I have no debt, completely 100% paid off, no student loans, nothing. Um, my credit score jumped up 200 points. 200 in the past year. That is insane. My lender approved me for a house, or they want to approve me for the house, but the fucking VA won't. The VA will not approve. Because the VA says I'm too risky. Because of credit history. So I'm telling you guys, man, you got to take your credit seriously. You got to take it seriously. You gotta hit that stuff hard. You gotta play it like a video game, man. You want that score to go up. So now I'm just kind of waiting for certain things to drop off. I have a lawyer that's going through and talking with my credit bureaus because certain things should not be there. So, for example, when that is dope. Naisu or don't, it's your prerogative. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, so the thing is, and I've been learning a lot about credit. So if a company sells your debt, they are not allowed to report that as on their end. You know what I mean? So I had a car that was repoed. Chrysler Capital owed money. Down the road, they sold the debt to capital or credit investors or whatever. And because the debt was sold, only one company can claim that particular debt to the credit bureaus, not both. The debt's paid. So the debt's, I don't owe that money anymore to anybody. And It's in both companies, Chrysler Capital and Investment Retrievers. Yeah, Investment Retrievers. Both of them are saying that I at one point owed money to them, even though I don't anymore. It shows a zero balance, which is good. It shows that it was paid off, but they do not. But they both are there though. That's the problem. It's one or the other. They can't both be there. Oh yeah, for real. Um, sure I'm on. Yeah, it's just it's credit's an interesting thing. I wish I would have taken it far more seriously when I was, you know. That's why I'm trying really hard to do that now. Easier said than done, obviously, but I'm having a lot of fun making these proxies. It's a nice little hobby, saving some dough doing that. Oh yeah, man. And it's that's the thing too. It's like we're not really taught in depth about credit and investments and saving for the future. Like in economics, we brushed on it. We brushed on it, you know, but we didn't really like go all into it and like really like explain it. Same with taxes. Like we didn't understand fucking taxes to save our lives, and then our first fucking year in the workforce, we have to pay taxes, and we're like, well, I don't fucking about this shit. Like these are things that they should teach us, things that they should inform us about, but they don't. And that's why I hold education in such a high regard, not just for my kids, but for all of us, because our kids are the fucking future, man. I mean, I want to go to Mars one day, and we can't get there with our current system. You know, that's good, man. Takes a long time, but fuck. Anyway, so I'm opening new accounts and lines of credit and stuff, so it shows that I um, revolving accounts and stuff that I pay on. I carry a no balance or very low balance just to show some form of activity. Um, but yeah, things have been pretty good for the most part. I can't argue too much. I mean, yeah, I might complain and all this stuff. At the end of the day, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and so are my boys. So the world's not all gloom and doom, thankfully. Things are good. Things are looking. I can't fully advocate education, to be honest. Um, I don't want to make any assumptions. So, what do you mean by that? Like, we shouldn't just like there shouldn't be public education, and we should just privatize education entirely, or what? 36 dice, man. That's all you need. Right, but are you saying we should just do away with public education, or what do you like? So you can't advocate education. What else has old Macy boy been up? Here's what I need to do. I need to get home. Sitting here chit chatting with y'all, and I got boys to feed. We're gonna go make breakfast. Oh, I'm actually about to get off too, anyway. But hey, man, you take it easy, Gig Stacker. It's so good hearing from you, but I hope all is well. Uh, oh, and I got my teeth fixed. Well, they're almost done. I got a couple. I have a little bit more work, but that's yay. Daddy's going to slide on. I don't know. That's great. This guy just fucked up. What in the fuck is this dude doing, man? I can't get into my parking space. It's fucking sitting there. Go up here. I'm gonna turn around, come back in, and hopefully that dude will be gone. It's like you're sitting in the middle of the road in such a way where I cannot turn into my spot. Oh, let me stop and then I'll read that. Okay, I just want. Let's see. Yeah, it's my. Oh, I'm not saying that either. That's why I'm saying that we need to be able to at least give kids an equal shot. That's why we have IEPs and 504 plans with kids with learning disabilities. You know, the problem with the current state of distance learning is that the tools necessary to teach properly just aren't there, you know? Or technically they would be, but the teachers themselves are, I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like they're being fucking lazy. It's their fucking job. It's what they get paid to fucking do, but they're not teaching. They're just taking attendance and throwing kids off to do the work on their own. And then when they don't understand the work, they get docked for it. You know? It's like they stress attendance and testing. That's all that they care about it. That's all that they care about. That's the problem that I have with this is that they're not teaching. That's the problem. I don't think my son has learned anything in 2020 because I'm gonna get off on a tangent. Anyway, as always, I'm your host, so glorious. Love